So you just got yourself a Sony ZV-E1 paid for with your stolen grandmother's laundry money. And now you're thinking, you know what? Dynamic active stabe, it's almost APS-C crop. What if I cheaped out and only stole her lunch money to get another lens? She won't smack me with her broom. So you think you can put an APS-C lens on this thing? Oh, we got one in the bag. We'll be testing it.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So right now we're on the Sony ZV-E1 Zeiss 18mm 2.8 dynamic active stabe engaged. 43% crop. It's a hefty one, but if you extend it on out there with an ultra wide lens, you're safe. You're in a safe house. But what if? There's really three options. Not really. Sony 11mm 1.8. That would give you super boom focal length. Huh? But it's a Sony clinical design. Could I really have that in my life? No. Or the Sony 15mm 1.4, still pretty light. A little more Tonys? No. Or the Zeiss Touit 12mm 2.8. Now we're talking. That's what's in the bag. Let's just switch right to it. Oh, what? What just happened to our life? Not only are we much lighter now, but we're ultra wide. Don't even have to hold it out there. But from what I've seen, bit of vignetting still somehow. It's 43% crop, designed for 50%. It's just this damn lens HUD, you piece of shit. You plastic hell nightmare. But you take it off, now you're susceptible to lens flares. It's even lighter now, I don't mind that. But if you're just doing this, you're vlogging, yeah, it's a kind of life hack that you get a cheaper, lighter lens, wider, funner, good times. But what if you wanted to do slow motion, which does not allow the dynamic crop? Then we're gonna have some nightmares, aren't we? Yeah, now you're not having so much fun, are you? All the fun has left the building, and you're stuck with a lens that has no purpose other than you're stuck just vlogging in dynamic active. So right now, we're in normal standard IBIS, no active, nothing. It's pretty bad. Vignette City. If you turn on active, I don't know, man, that's still pretty bad. But it's almost gone, and I'm not sure if the Sony 11 is even better than this. Some lenses are just like, they almost cover the full frame. Not this one. Not this one. Oh, and there's a story behind how I got this. Let's just switch back into dynamic active. All right, so listen to this one. I know you think I'm a spoiled child because I've been given so many things. You're right. You're definitely right. So I was thinking of this exact scenario because I'm always thinking of combos that haven't been thought about. When I was first debating the Canon C100 Mark II, I was thinking the Canon EF 14mm 2.8 would give you an ultra wide look. So it's like a 21mm equiv, and then you have your XLR shotgun mic on top. And since it's kind of pushed like almost here, like it's way beyond the lens, I was like, that could have good audio. So my mind's always like, what's the best combo that nobody's using? So like when I was debating this option, APS-C, I could not bring myself to get a Sony lens with 0 3D pop. And then I remembered this one, Zeiss Touit. So I go on Kijiji and I'm looking around, I see a guy selling one for 480 Canadian. I was like, interesting. I'm gonna lowball you even further. And so I asked him, like, why are you selling the lens? Something wrong with it? Did you drop it in a pool or something? And he says, hey man, Camera Conspiracies, oh my God, big fan. I'm gonna give you the lens. Don't even worry about it. I'm like, are you serious? I'm just that lucky. I don't know. Fun times ahead. So yes, I accept your gift. And now we have it. We're still in vignette hell. Okay, let's do a little test with Catalyst Browse. How much do we have to crop in to get rid of every vignette? And is it even more stable than dynamic? It should be like a 45% crop, roughly that, which is a pain in the ass. Just use dynamic stabe, but it's probably a bit better and more annoying to you afterwards. You get home and it's like, oh, I have to do this. That's why people who are like, just make proxies for your hard to edit files, like, you're a moron. Some days I make 3 videos and then I get home. Imagine having to create proxies for all 3, and then that creates like 200 gigs of files. You think I have that? I have a 1 terabyte machine that's often down to the 300 gig range. What are you, crazy? Stabe. Oh, hi. I wasn't sure that you were coming. Nobody responded to the email. So now we're in that crazy dynamic zoom mode. Oh man, I need a longer lav mic. This is bullshit, but can I reach the vignette? You have a lot of room to travel now. It's up there. Oh God, I can't, I'm not that tall. I didn't frame it properly. What about down here? My lav mic still isn't long enough. Oh, she said that to me once, and she was right. She was definitely right. Okay, we're panning down. Short people problems. It's in there. It's right there. So like, you can reach that vignette point, but you can still do this. You can go for a long walk until you're out of the frame. Who minds that? Not me. What if I use that dynamic center mode? I think that's designed to keep you in the center. I'm just curious if that's a life hack. Is it like similar crop to dynamic active, but I'm always in the center? Even if I turn you away, you're kind of staying. I'm pointing. Oh no, I reached the end. Okay, it's awkward, but is it more stable? Because if you're just doing this, you could have worse stabe. All right, we're back in dynamic active stabe. I got a question the other day related to this episode, so I figure we include it here. It went something like, I have no dignity. I drink corn syrup with all my meals, and I was debating a Viltrox lens. Is Zeiss a smarter move? I don't know. Can you tell me? Oh, how far have you fallen? Far have you? Oh, uh-oh. I think this was on my Zeiss Touit versus Viltrox 13mm on the Fuji, because I had this lens on the Fuji, but now it's a Sony, and it was loud. The autofocus hunted a lot, but I think that's a Fuji problem. I don't hear anything. It's quiet on the Sony. It'll never lose me, ever. So if you're debating that, this lens versus the Viltrox, I actually decided with the Viltrox just because I preferred more background blur, but I've grown up. I've grown up since then, and we know 3D pop is more important than background blur. They were louder than me. I gotta be honest with you, I've never kept a Viltrox lens. They're nice, they're sharp, they autofocus good, no focus breathing, like there's a lot to love, they're cheap. Sometimes they're light, often they're not. But like that 40mm Tony 2.5, I was very happy with all that street videography. It looked great. I sold that thing immediately. Like, come on now. If I wanted that focal length, I would be looking at the Zeiss 35mm 2.8. Same, similar, tiny size, but you got the Zeiss pop. A little 0.3 of a Tony, worse. That doesn't even matter. You pop so much that the Viltrox will look like a Tony 19. So if your option is new Viltrox or used Zeiss for similar price, like, what are you even talking about? How are you confused about that? Like, it's always Zeiss, no matter what. I don't think Zeiss makes a bad lens. Even the modern ones that angry photographers like, that's got no pop, it's not. I bet you it's got some pop. Like, none of us know what the pop even means or like why it's there, but we see it. We feel it. It's just hard to fall in love with a Viltrox lens. Like, the lens is the most important part. You would never buy into a system for Viltrox lenses. Like, oh, I just love that look. Not really. Like, they're always nice performers, but they don't know how to pop So no thank you to Viltrox, but they're good for you lower tiered beings, like your pigeon level. And then it'll be fine for you. This is a good angle, trust me. You know why I'm already regretting accepting this lens for free? Because I love doing that slow motion street videography. You can't do that here. What are you gonna do with the damn thing? Like, it's not gonna do it. It's too wide. I just compared the DJI Pocket 3 to this. If you haven't watched that video, I got a lot of cool shots. And my thoughts are, while the Sony looked better in every shot, I missed like 60% of my shots. Because when I'm filming, I'm not looking at them. If I'm looking and I'm pointing, it's very obvious that I'm filming you, and then you're gonna be looking into the camera and you're no longer acting natural, laughing with your friends. So like when it's a discrete thing, cool. With a 55mm lens, I was missing everything. I was panning too fast, I was too high, I was too low. But the shots I did get were way better than the Pocket. But the Pocket, I got every single shot that I recorded, it was just good. But they all looked worse. And if I'm being honest with you, even the Zeiss 18mm, I've done that for the street videography. It's okay. I've got some really cool moments, but it's not the same as a nice little 35 or 55. So like if you're doing a little travel vlog like that, you would have to bring another lens, which means the Pocket 3 just wins like it always does. So while this is a cool little life hack on paper, that means I can't do any slow-mo. I don't know how much of a life hack this really is. I can picture myself selling this before I even get home today. That could be a problem, but on paper, it's so light now. It's 781 grams for this combo. Even lighter without that lens hood. We got the Black Pro Mist on there right now, just because I think that will help prevent the flares, but it might not at all. I think ND filters are the thing that does that. Hey, they got the pillars there now. That's interesting. They've been building this for years. I feel bad for all the old Greek men who used to gather here. They had a sense of community. They're trying to kill Greek men. That's all I know for sure. That's what this is all about. There's a bird on the chair. So I think I'll probably stick with the Zeiss 18mm Batis for this type of vlog, even though this is fun to be wider and a bit lighter. The odd emergency case where I can get some slow-mo street vids, I could do that on the Zeiss, but I think you would have to kind of go, if your hope was to get like, okay, 35mm is enough, you go with the 16 to 35 Zeiss 24, then it's like very heavy. But like you're wide, and then you can actually get some stuff. 35mm, it's a 24, but you might have Zeiss pop. It's a zoom pop, lower level pop. But I don't think it would even be worth it. And the answer is probably still just DJI Pocket 3. It looks like a glide cam. Every shot is just, it looks like you set up a professional scene and just glides, but it's a bit cheaper. If DJI Pocket 4 is like a full frame or something, forget everything. Just forget our lives. And I don't know, that lens has 3D pop. I don't know how they did it. So how did this perform today? Thank you, my friend, for giving it to me. I will be selling it immediately for more than you were trying to sell it for, by the way. And there we have that. Decent little thing. It's fun. I'll see if the footage looks amazing. Okay, maybe you can crop in on that HD 240 and it's like, okay, that's not so bad, but I don't know. I have a feeling that's not going to look good at all. So interesting. Not bad. It's okay. I'll leave now after you donate Bitcoin. Subscribe, man. I'm not saying it.